Hey girl, hey! Okay, so my name is Riley Brennan, and I am your neighborhood white girl. Okay, so what I've noticed is that people don't always think we're smart. Yeah, just because we're like pretty and fun and whatever, we can't be smart. Like, just ask Donald Trump, he obviously thinks that. Um, so people don't realize that when we go to Starbucks and get our iced white mocha, grande skim milk, no whipped cream, that we're not like studying there. But obviously we are because you have to be smart to be a cunning bitch, and cunning bitches rule the world. So anyway, we're totally smart. So I just wanted to share my smartness with all of you when we talk about literature, because books are super important, and like in this modern world sometimes it all gets confusing, like reading some old books and whatnot. Boring, but not. It's not. So I'm just going to talk to you about it, and yeah, it's going to be great. Okay, so today we're going to start off with a book called House of Mirth. It's by Edith Wharton. It's written in like 1905, whatever, a long time ago. Okay, so Edith Wharton was hella feminist. And she was hella feminist at a time when, like, it wasn't really cool to be feminist. Like, now it's like, you're not feminist, what the fuck? But back in the day, like, that wasn't really a thing. So, but a lot of people don't necessarily see Wharton as a feminist. They think that, like, House of Mirth is just, like, this really depressing book about a failed social climber named Lily, who's like a victim of this inescapable, sexist, elitist, competitive system. But I see it differently. So to me, Lily Bart is a failed social climber, but by her own doing. Yeah, the system was sexist, elitist, super competitive, and all kinds of bitchy, but Lily was given like 1,000 chances to escape it. Those chances may have included like blackmail and prostitution, but still, she could have escaped it. And the thing is, Wharton totally knows that. Like, I don't think Wharton was cheering for Lily. I don't think she was like, yeah, strong female character, like, go, show them what you got, like, prove it to the world that we're awesome. I think she's kind of like, Lily's weak. She doesn't finish the job through. You know, she gets these opportunities and she doesn't really take them. And so she sucks. Okay, so Lily is totally in the game of finding the best marriage ever. She knows it. She's like really pretty. Back in the day without like contour and Photoshop, whatever. She's like a natural beauty. Just like me. Anyway, and she thinks that's enough. She thinks that that's all it takes. And like in that time, yeah, it pretty much does, but you still have to like seal the deal and all that, you know? You got to get the ring on it to make it happen. So, yeah, okay. But when it's just based off beauty and everything, Lily's an object. And most women at that time are kind of just objects. And I know that's not like really feminist, but there wasn't much you could do about it. You just kind of had to make the best of your situation. And you could do that if you had like money and freedom and autonomy and whatnot. But yeah, Lily's poor. So she doesn't really have that. So she does have to be an object, but she can use that like to her advantage to get what she wants. But she doesn't. Because Lily sees herself as the lead player. She's like, oh, I'm pretty, so I'm in charge. Yeah, but that's not really true. Because she's really just a pawn for other people, because you need to be a cunning pretty bitch to win the game. You can't just be a pretty bitch because people are going to walk over you. So she doesn't get that. She doesn't see that she's another item to be bought. And that really like hurts her success. So the best part though is, like I said, Wharton totally gets it. She knows this. She's like, Lily, you're such a dumb bitch. So even this other like literary analyst or whatever, sorry, my Smashbox lip gloss fell. It's making noise. I'll put it down here. Okay, so anyway, yeah, this other literary analyst, Laura K. Johnson, she wrote that Wharton makes it clear who plays what role in the bigger scheme of things, and Wharton makes it clear that Lily is not at the top. And Lily doesn't know that. So she just keeps playing for her husband, and she's pretty good. Like, she's pretty good at the flirting game. She uses her skills and, like, charm and whatnot on boring, wealthy men, pretends that she's interested, pretends that she knows what they're talking about and that she really cares, you know, smile, oh. yeah. But no, so she's just playing them, which is great. But then she starts to get cocky. She starts to think that she's got these men on lock when you don't have it on lock until the ring is on the finger, the marriage contract is signed, and you're in it with a good prenup. So in reality, she's just getting started. Like, it's not over yet. And it's like when you have a snap streak going with some guy for 32 days, and that's a long time. That's like hella commitment, right? And so you decide, okay, time to like move things forward, right? So day 33, you're not going to snap him. And he's going to be like, oh my God, what's wrong? Like, why didn't you stop me? We had a streak going. And you can be like, oh, I didn't know you cared. But like, you totally knew he cared because that's over a month. And that's a lot of commitment. And then you can like kiss and get married and it's fine. Okay, but that's not really what happens because Sarah down the hall, she starts Snapchatting him on day 33, the day you drop the ball. And then they kiss and get married and like totally take your happy future. So yeah, Lily failed. So bitch needs to keep her eye on the bride. But unfortunately, Lily did not have me to help her through the process, so she drops the ball on that one. She fails. So she's still strapped for cash at this point. She doesn't have a future or anything. So she like makes these arrangements to stay wealthy, but she doesn't like fully commit. You know, if you're going to be sketchy, you need to just be like hella sketchy. Go for it and get the rewards for your risk. Because even if you're being a little bit sketchy, you're still risking something, but at least make it worth it. You might have to be hella sketchy, but at least, you know, you can wear your Louboutins or whatever. I don't think they had that like back then, but whatever, it's fine. But Lily is like too moral for that or like some other bullshit, even though she's doing these like backhanded schemes anyway. So you're obviously not too moral, bitch. I don't know, she's just weird. But Mary Ellis Gibson, another writer, wrote that Lily crosses the boundaries she should not, and her morality is either at odds with convention or comes too late. So Lily totally gets into situations that she's not ready for. She's hella naive about it too. She's like, oh, I didn't know that you, a creepy old guy who doesn't get much action, expected physical favors in return for the large sums of money you give me. What the hell, Lily, if some like old creepy man who doesn't get much action is giving you large sums of money and like totally flirting with you, you're gonna have to give him something back. I mean, like, you shouldn't have to. You really shouldn't. Like, I'm all for that. You shouldn't. But you do and you know it, okay? Like, don't pretend like you don't. Like, that's the world, okay? It sucks. It sucks. But it's the way it is, okay? And you knew that. So this other scholar, Dimock, totally agrees with the other scholars and me. She wrote this whole paper called The Debasing Exchange, and it's totally about how, like, Lily Bart's failure to commit just doing the debasing things for money. So while Dimock writes that Lily is a self-acknowledged human merchandise, she is busy marketing herself throughout most of the book, worried only about the price she would fetch. It's obvious that Lily figures this all out way too late and lets her suddenly high morals get in the way of her financial success. Like, she goes the distance to like, make these arrangements, but then she's like, oh no, like, I can't do it. I already took your money, but I can't do it. And so then she obviously has to like pay them back and like get out of these arrangements. So she's not even wealthy. She just lost money. But she knew what she was doing in the first place, so I don't get it. Like, okay, so in the end, Lily was offered money. She was offered marriage. She had a chance at family inheritance. She even had a chance at just, like, love if she just lowered her standards a bit, either for herself or for others. But she took none of those, and instead she ended up dead with her ex-lover or buyer or whatever, just, like, creepily looking at her dead body. It's super sad and depressing and all, and especially because Wharton is just like, oh, look at this foolish character who didn't seize her opportunities, and she leaves the book ending like totally morally ambiguous. Like, you don't know where Wharton stands. Like, is this sad that Lily died, or was it like a pity thing that we just like killed her on, like, oh, she's not getting anywhere, like she's old and ugly now? Or was it suicide, like Lily couldn't handle her mistakes or just couldn't handle her life or whatever? So that's another like moral issue. But I really believe like Wharton knew what was going on the whole time, and she's like, yeah, this is a super sexist society, but there's really no way to beat that. At that point, like fundamentally with like social barriers and like political barriers and all that, but you could still like play the game as an independent woman and like use your skills or assets to your advantage. So I think that's the message that Wharton is trying to send. So while most people see it as this depressing story, it is depressing, but it's more like women, even when you're in hard times, you need to do what you can to get ahead. And sometimes everything's stacked against you, and sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you have to put yourself out there. And I'm not saying that, yeah, we should all just, like, drop our morals and, like, do whatever. But the thing is that Lily was already doing that. She was, and she just wouldn't, like, admit it or commit to it. So I think if you make those choices to do what you need to do to get the success that you want, you have to just commit it and go for it. And I think that's what Wharton understood. Wharton understood that you had to play the game and that Lily wanted to play that game. And she made that choice, but then she couldn't follow through. So she just left herself worse off than she had at the beginning. So, moral of the story. Number 1, Edith Wharton is total badass. Number 2, if you feel sketchy about a financial opportunity, be fully prepared to prostitute before you take that money. And number 3, keep watching your friendly neighborhood white girls literary vlog for more insightful lessons.